Hello and Assalamu alaikum. My name is Dr. Khurram Khan, and I'm a consultant forensic psychiatrist in a high secure forensic psychiatric hospital in the United Kingdom. This hospital is located in Scotland and it's called the State Hospital Carstairs. People with mental illnesses are the most vulnerable group of individuals in our society. And I'm honored that Pakistan Psychiatric Society has asked me to share my thoughts on this subject on the World Mental Health Day. And I'm going to briefly talk about something which is, I think, very important, a law that is, which is very important to be fully and meaningfully implemented in Pakistan in order to safeguard the rights of this most vulnerable group of individuals in our society. That is, people who have mental health problems or people with mental health problems who have unfortunately found themselves on the wrong side of the law. Now, the vulnerability of people with mental health problems is seldom recognized or afforded the appropriate level of protection in the criminal justice system. On the contrary, people with mental illnesses are often construed as inherently dangerous and are consequently subjected to cruel and unusual punishments, including capital punishment. In our country, I think approximately 50 million people suffer from mental illnesses. However, the lack of mental health treatments, training, services, and the interface between mental health and the criminal justice system, and generally in other domains, means that many individuals never get diagnosed. The difficulties faced by people with mental illnesses are further compounded by the structural and systematic problems of Pakistan's under-resourced and overstretched criminal justice and mental health services. Consequently, the challenges faced within the mental health systems and the criminal justice systems, including the widespread use of torture in the criminal justice system to obtain confessions and the lack of access to competent legal counsel fall most heavily on Pakistan's most vulnerable. There are many reasons why an individual's mental illness should be taken into account in the criminal justice system and the criminal justice process. It may affect their legal responsibility for an offense, may be relevant to the sentencing determination, or may hinder meaningful participation in the legal process, which is absolutely important in order for the justice to be delivered. So, for example, people with mental illnesses may not have had the necessary mens rea for the affected offense, or their ability to understand the consequences of their actions may have been impaired. People with mental illnesses may also be at a greater risk of making false confessions if they have a diminished ability to accurately perceive reality. Now, while legal professionals or the police or the other professionals from the criminal justice system do not have a duty to diagnose mental disorders or provide welfare services to defendants with mental illnesses. They do have a duty to ensure that vulnerable defendants are treated fairly and in accordance with domestic law and international obligations. The need to exercise this duty becomes uh, absolutely um, important in light of the fact that currently I think about 33 criminal offenses are punishable by death in Pakistan. Failure to uphold the rights of defendants with mental illnesses has resulted in the execution of vulnerable individuals in our country and may do so again if this obligation is not taken seriously. Um, I think I want to talk a little bit from the Islamic perspective. Islam being the constitutional religion of Pakistan, and majority of people in Pakistan seek spiritual guidance from Islam. Now, similar to Western laws, Islamic laws also follow the concept of mens rea. A lack of subjective guilty intention implies no crime. Because of this, if an individual's judgment or will is impaired, they should not be held accountable for their actions. Islamic law recognizes that a person with mental disorder could not have had the record mens rea, where they were insane, lacked competence, had an intellectual disability, or were unconscious. Um, so I think it is absolutely important to safeguard the rights of these people, and that can only be possible if we strengthen the interface between the mental health services and the criminal justice services. One way, and I believe the only way really of doing that, is to implement the mental health acts of the four provinces in Pakistan in their respective uh, geographical jurisdiction, um, and to make sure that necessary regular training is arranged for mental health and criminal justice professionals. I mean, the Mental Health Act, the underpinnings of this act is all about the rights of this vulnerable group of people. It puts an obligation on the mental health and the criminal justice professionals to deal with these people in a non-discriminatory fashion, to make sure that the principle of equality is respected, to make sure that the respect of diversity is exercised, to make sure that law of reciprocity is is followed, to make sure that the care to the patient or to the client is provided in an informal manner, to make sure that their participation in their treatment process or in the legal process is is achieved, to make sure that the carers are taken care of, and um, support is provided to them. Um, so my plea to my colleagues who are listening to me today is to please think about and read around the Mental Health Act of Sindh, Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and Balochistan, and um, find strategies and menus to disseminate this knowledge, develop a network of people who converse with each other in order to develop a shared nomenclature between the mental health professionals and the legal criminal justice professionals. Um, the I mean, both the legal professional and profession and the mental health profession, they are very highly specialized, advanced fields with their own arcane procedures, complicated language, jargon. So it is important to develop a simplified language in order to talk to each other for the benefit of our patients and of our clients. So thank you very much for listening to me today. And with the support of Pakistan Psychiatric Society, especially the efforts by its president, Professor Iqbal Afridi, we managed to develop a program of training around the Mental Health Act. That training was first given in Karachi in October 2019. It was again repeated in Rawalpindi in the February of this year because of the COVID pandemic. Since then, we have been regularly arranging the webinars to continue the dialogue and the training. And hopefully, once this COVID pandemic is over, we will arrange an in-person training very soon. So thank you very much, and good luck, and best wishes to you all.